mothers from Indianapolis used their maternal instincts and amateur investigative skills to find a kidnapped 5-month-old baby. Now, some in the media decided to erase these actual heroes from the story, but before we even get to that, I think it's important to know the details and the facts of what happened. So a woman in Columbus, Ohio, stole a running car last week with 2 twin baby boys in it. These situations actually happen far more often than I care to even know about, but it's true. Like there have been carjackings and things like that where there are actual children in the back seat. And in this case, we're talking about 2 baby boys, they're twins. Now, one of the babies, Kyair Thomas, was found by a passerby early Tuesday morning in a parking lot of the Dayton International Airport, but the other child was still missing, okay? Now let's get to the crazy part of the story. An Indianapolis resident by the name of Shyann Delmar said that she bought toys from a woman who was hanging out at a gas station on Tuesday. Delmar then agreed to give the woman, who referred to herself only as May, a ride to a nearby store. But when she started acting erratically, Delmar decided a recorded video of her on her phone. Okay, she's like, oh, just acting a little crazy. I might need evidence if anything happens. She's recording her. Now, at the time, she had no idea who the woman was, but here's the thing. She then began scrolling Facebook and she realized something. After dropping the woman off, Delmar shared the story and a video she'd taken of the woman with her cousin, Mecca Curry, and then realized the woman seemed eerily similar to the Columbus, Ohio kidnapping suspect being shown in the news. Following what they chalk up to motherly intuition and sleuthing, the 27-year-old women followed their instincts and decided to take action. So the mugshot of Nala Jackson, the 24-year-old woman who had referred to herself as May, made it clear that May is Nala Jackson. They're like, too many, the resemblance is uncanny, this is an issue. So the women had exchanged numbers, and later that day, May actually reached out to Shyann asking if she wanted to buy more toys from her. Perfect opportunity to do a little more investigating work, right? Unsure of what to do with their newfound information, Delmar didn't immediately answer the call, but on Thursday morning, she called her back about the purchases. They arranged to meet at a residence, and Delmar, who was convinced by then that the woman was the suspect on the news, brought Curry with her. So the 2 women show up, right, allegedly to buy toys from the woman who identified herself as May. Now, Delmar and Curry said that they came up with a plan to take the woman to a store and call police to arrest her there. Instead of like trying to drive her to a police station where she would realize, oh, we're going to a police station, maybe she'd jump out of the car. They didn't want that situation. So they're like, let's go on a shopping trip. And then they were gonna call the cops to come assist them. There were some issues with that plan though. First, the cousins called Columbus police, who told them to call the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department. When they called Indianapolis police, the women struggled to get the point across that they believed Jackson was in their car. They got frustrated and hung up and took the woman to several more stores, hoping she would shoplift and draw authorities' attention. Now, there was no luck with that strategy either. They didn't take her again to the police station for obvious reasons. They were worried that she would realize what was happening and jump out of the car. But throughout the shopping trips, Curry made calls to detectives trying to relay all of the relevant information that she received from her cousin about their belief that May was the suspected kidnapper. So at one point, get a load of this, Curry alleges the detective asked her, quote, well, what do you want me to do about it? I don't know, show up and investigate what you're basically hired and paid to do. But anyway, later on, the police called while the women were in the car. And luckily, they got the message across, okay? So not wanting to tip off the woman, Curry pretended to be talking to her fiance and indicated that they were driving on the I-65 South. Finally, the police found the car, pulled them over. Curry describes how clueless the police seem to be in the next clip. Let's watch.
So we pulled over. At this point, the police is acting super strange. Like, y'all don't know all the information I gave y'all.
Literally.
Y'all not putting one and one together to make two. Y'all getting one and one, putting one and one together and making nine. Like, what are y'all thinking? Come on now. At this point, I was trying to give them the information that they needed without asking me. So I'm even writing her name down. I'm like, give me a pen and a piece of paper. And I wrote Nayla Jackson down. So I'm giving them every clue that they need. And they're still pissing me off because they're not putting two and two together.
How frustrating is that? That like you need to force feed the evidence to the authorities. But luckily, after that initial skepticism, the police realized what was going on. Curry said she showed police a screenshot of Jackson's mugshot, and after comparing the woman in the car, the officer decided she did in fact appear to be Jackson and took her into custody at about 2 p.m. Thursday. At that point, that was a relief, Curry said. Already these women are heroes. Detectives in Columbus investigating the case did finally commend them. You guys did fantastic, a detective wrote in an email reviewed by Indy Star that Curry received at 3:33 p.m. Thursday. Because of your help, we are so much closer to finding that baby. But they weren't satisfied because the 5-month-old was still missing, right? And the 5-month-old's name is Kason. The women got in contact with the family of the kidnapped babies and found out what kind of car was stolen, like what's the make, what's the model. They looked in their own car for clues the women may have left. This is like mind-blowing. And they found a bus schedule, okay? They decided to follow the bus line toward Indiana University, which Nala apparently, and that's the suspect, kept referencing in the car. Hungry and tired, they pulled into a parking lot with some restaurants and saw a Honda in the lot that matched the family's description. And here's what happened next.
Open the driver door. At this point, I look in the back, I see baby legs. I don't hear a baby, all I smell is a foul smell. Now instantly at this point, I'm like, no! I'm screaming. She hears me screaming. She said no. She runs to go find the police. I'm so glad.
I ran in Papa John's. No, I ran in Papa John's, and I told him, I said, y'all need to call the police. This baby that got kidnapped from Ohio is out here in his car, and I thought he was dead, but thank God he was not.
And guess what happened? Authorities retrieved a healthy baby boy from the car and reconnected him with his parents, with his mother specifically. As officers were relaying the information to dispatchers, women can be heard in the background screaming with relief. At that point, we didn't believe we really did this. We really did the unthinkable, Curry said. But despite the heroic actions and the investigative skills of these two women, CNN posted this on Instagram. 2 police officers found a missing kidnapped baby when they stopped to eat. Except that is not what happened, Ben. That is not what happened. It's amazing. And the headline, by the way, on their website reads, "A missing kidnapped baby was found in a stolen car's backseat hours after the suspect's arrest." No mention of the women at all. It's unbelievable. Except, no, it's not. It's very believable. I mean, just do basic research before reporting the story. Please, basic, just basic.
And the police seem to also take credit for it themselves, which when someone does your job for you, I guess it's embarrassing and you don't want to let on that. But give credit where credit is due. These women were incredible. They were amateur sleuths. This is like some Magnum PI level action. I don't know how they pulled it off. And an incredible story. They just figured it out. I hope they open a private detective business or something, because they can call it, unofficial justice. If the law does not help you out, you do it on your own, and they could do a private investigation company. I will help them start the company if they're interested. I'll take a small percentage. It's pretty incredible. Also,
I'll just take 10%.
That's right.
Just 10%, ladies.
It's also
you obviously have some investigative skills. Just 10%.
You just need someone to do bookkeeping. That's all.
Yeah.
Also, it's an incredible end to the story too, because the mother had these twin babies, and you never want any of your babies to obviously go missing, but when you got twins, you hope at least one is still with you because you got a perfect replacement. You know what I mean?
God, Ben.
And so now both were taken, both were found, happy ending in every way. Can you tell I don't have children, that I don't understand that they're probably still separate beings with their own personalities? They're not exact.
Yeah.
It's not just like a spare one,
people picked up on it a little bit, just a little bit.
Fair. Yeah. Listen, it might happen one day, maybe in 2023. that Anna hopefully is also coming on board with there being positive hope for this year.
I mean,
Still not. That pause, the
The thing is, a change of year doesn't really mean a change of the things that
but
make
we can
life
pretend
difficult.
though, and we can
That's
kind
true.
of
That's true. Everything
give it energy. We can give it energy.
New year. Everything's gonna be
brand
different.
new year.
CNN is gonna give these two heroic women credit for what they did.
Dogs and cats will be walking in harmony in the streets.
Some
Republicans
dogs and
and
cats
Democrats will
get
get
along
things
real
done.
well.
It's true.
They do. They
It's
do.
true.
I dream of a better America where cats and dogs get along.
That's maybe the more likely thing we can achieve in this country
100%.
in 2023 than our politicians getting along. Other species will finally put aside their beef and join hands in unity. Join Pause. Pause across America. Let's do it.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.